Hi. Today, I'm going to try to be clear on the link between unworthiness and guilt and how it's so helping to see that link. Right. So, to be clear, hopefully, the me, we know, the me, the ego, the autonomous center of control that seemingly runs the show but doesn't, because there is no doer, actually, that we know. We already the oneness, nothingness, and it's happening now already. Whatever you think about it, it's the case. So why don't we just say, oh, yes. And I even have had a glimpse about it, but for some reason I'm still struggling with that sensation of being a doer, being a me, and most of it unworthy. Why? Because me is unworthiness, right? The me is not good enough. That's per definition, because when the me is good enough, 100% feeling good enough, it disappears into the world that it is, right? That's so obvious, this thing. So, because there is no more judgment, there is no more self-referencement, self-judgment, self-critic, and that's what the me is as well, with the unworthiness. So when that disappears, when the me finds itself competent enough, good enough, then it collapses onto itself. That's the not the goal, because who would have it, but that's what happens anyway. So guilt, why? Because that me that is so not good enough, in whatever form of or shape that is unique to you, because we all have it, and there's an infinite variety of being unworthy, more or less in a more or less subtle way, but still same unworthiness. And the me is in fear all the time to meet that unworthiness, to get it, to see it in the eyes, to have to think about it, to have to ask a real question about it, because it's existential for it, right? Because it's gonna meet its own its unsubstantiality. Right. So, why the guilt? See that guilt is always there behind the unworthiness. Because when we feel guilty, when we feel unworthy, we feel guilty. Always. Like, I'm not good enough because I didn't prepare myself enough. My parents don't like me because obviously something is wrong with me, and if something is wrong with me, I was born with something wrong in me that I can never find, but I know something is wrong with me, and I feel guilty about it. Guilt is behind unworthiness all the time, but we don't see it that clearly. And that's why when we try to work on the unworthiness side of the me, seeing, okay, I'm not me, I'm not this, or I want to heal the me, I want to see more clearly and value myself. When I meet things, I'm gonna say, no, I'm good enough. That doesn't go that far, because the guilt is always there. It's going to be, even if the me is a little better than before, and you feel some relief. Before you thought you were really so unworthy you could not even try to start any project. Now you feel more worth about yourself. You value yourself by comparison. So you ameliorated your me, self-development of the me, but you could always do more. And you always feel guilty that you did not do enough. Even when you say, oh, today I'm proud of myself, I did good. So today I don't feel as guilty as yesterday. You see, it's always about guilt. And that guilt is just the fuel, it's just feeding the unworthiness. And that's why you don't just drop it now. Because there's nothing you need to do. It's already the case. There is no me. You kind of know it. But it's not happening now. Because you don't feel ready. You feel you have something else to do. You feel guilty. You feel like the me has to be redeemed first. You have to do your time. You did something wrong to be unworthy. And even if you're not unworthy, that because we talk about this all the time, still, you did not do your time. That's why it's not enough to just try to feel worthy. You see? Because you did not look at the guilt behind. That's the trick. That guilt. Look at the guilt. You will see how it's so insidiously woven into all your self-referencement, all that self-criticism that you have, that it is function of the me. And that's what reduces the attention to the idea of some sort of command that is doing something, which he never does. That's why he feels guilty, because he tries and it doesn't work. Sometimes it's in sync, but most of the time it doesn't work, because it's just thinking a mental commentary about what is happening, and the me has no control on it. But that's difficult to really accept as a concept until the me is dropped. But you can still see that it's true, even if you don't feel it from the apparent point of attention. You can see that logically the idea of a me is completely inefficient, unworthy. And that's why that's an idea that say, oh, but it's unworthy because I don't do enough. It's double trap. So I'm going to do something to make it more worthy, and then I won't be guilty, and then the me will what? Will exist, right? It's Pinocchio again. It's in wood, but it's gonna be a real little boy, right? The guilt. That's what keeping you from seeing what is happening now in reality, right? So go looking for the guilt that is in every corners, because you will see that it's really not founded, not logical. You cannot be guilty because your parents rejected you when you were a kid. It's not your fault. You're not guilty, but the guilt is there. You still have it. You're working on the worthiness of feeling like, yes, it's not me, it's my parents. They have their problems, and I know it's not my fault. It was a trauma. It was my wound. The me is a wound as well. But you feel guilty for that wound, and that's what is keeping you tied to the wound. So investigate the guilt. Get rid of it, because you can see that it's not appropriate. You're not guilty. Even less than you can see I'm unworthy, because the worth is more difficult to see because things happen and apparently you messed it up as a me. So it takes time to say, yeah, but it's not me. Okay, it's not me. Something else is at play here. Okay. But the guilt, get rid of it first. And then the unworthiness will go away more rapidly, easily. Try it and let me know.